Hello, a very warm welcome to all of our guests joining today. I can't believe we've reached day 5 of our event series. Everyone can automate. What an amazing week it has been. My name is Nikki Jones, and I'm absolutely delighted to be your host for today's final event. Everyone in finance can automate. The response to our past 4 days has been amazing. I'm still buzzing about Sean's performance yesterday. If you get a chance, please do revisit the Everyone in Operations Can Automate session. It'll be like nothing you've seen before. It's no secret this event comes at a very exciting time for the industry. As some of you will have heard from our very passionate CEO, Mihir Shukla, in opening on Monday. Mihir has a clear vision for Automation Anywhere and the wider RPA community to create a true digital workforce where there's a bot on every desktop and where knowledge workers work alongside bots to do meaningful work. People have the freedom, flexibility, and capacity to fulfill their full potential and in the process, drive billions of dollars for businesses around the world. It's undeniable that there's a tectonic shift happening in this automation space, which, as we know, has been fueled by a couple of things, like a global pandemic, which then accelerated the digital transformation agenda. We have increasing technological innovations, and so the list goes on. But until recently, automation has been employed in businesses primarily looking to streamline and accelerate tasks for back office functions like finance, accounting, and human resources. Important and still relevant, as we'll hear today. But as automation, AI, and work converge in the enterprise, new technologies are emerging that address the shifting skill set of enterprise workers and how they, or rather we, consume technology. As I mentioned earlier in the week, we've all learned from Google, we've learned from our iPhones, and in my case, I often learn from my tech-savvy children. We've learned from advances in consumer technology, the need to make technology in the enterprise easier to use, easy to access, and easy to consume. If we look at this story through a digital assistant lens, we have this concept of skills which are inbuilt capabilities. In an Alexa environment, a skill might be playing music, answering questions, or giving you perhaps the weather forecast. Now look at this same concept, but within the enterprise and the ability to understand and process a lot of content, especially as the volume and complexity of content continues to grow exponentially. Valuable information and insights, vital for decision taking, lives within your CRM, BPM, and ERP systems. So the role of automation is changing so that it can automate tasks and deliver information both from and into systems. The benefits are amazing. Rapid deployment, easy to configure, easy to consume, human-like performance without the need for outages, such as weekends, summer holidays, and dare I say, sick days. Now, for those of you who may have missed our many LinkedIn posts over the last week, Everest Group named Automation Anywhere a leader in its robotic process automation assessment for 2021. We were recognized not only for our cloud-native platform, our pre-built integrations, and our Google Cloud relationship, but our ability to bring new consumer-like experience to the enterprise through ARI, our bot-to-human interface, simplifying everyday tasks, which is where today's presentation and all sessions this week have been focused. And this is precisely why we've brought this event to life, to help companies like yours get ahead, or in many cases, stay ahead of the automation curve. Now, if you're anything like me, you'll no doubt have 101 questions. Could I encourage you to ask those questions in the event chat, which we will be monitoring throughout the event and will address, time permitting, at the end, or immediately afterwards in follow-up with you directly. I'm super excited about today's presentation, featuring a very passionate and curious colleague who is going to take you through his personal journey from a finance perspective, which is a classic hotbed for automation, both in the back office and front office, as you'll hear just in a few moments. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to the virtual stage Theo Lakay for today's presentation, Everyone in Finance Can Automate. Theo, it's over to you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I can really tell you how thrilled I am to be here with you guys today. I've waited long for this session, and we had 4 already preceding me. But firstly, I want to thank Nikki for the great introduction that she has given, and she definitely set the scene for this session. Yeah, as part of the introduction, I'm Theo Lakay. I live in London, and I moved from South Africa not so long ago. I say, but not so long time ago. It feels like a bit of age, but it's about 15 years that I've migrated to England, and I joined AA 2.5 years ago. And this is my journey, and I would love to share this with you guys today. So, like the caption of my presentation that you will see, that you're seeing now, my bots are my lifeline. A bit about myself. Like I said, I'm a South African. I love playing golf, and you will probably see that I love spreadsheets. And this whole session will involve around financial modeling that my area, that I do for my area and my function, but also how I have integrated that in the wider finance area. As a fellow South African, I love barbecue. And then also, as part of a family introduction, I've got a small family. We're only a family of 3. My wife, Pam, that I'm married for 28 years, and I have a daughter, Jessica, of 25. And I also have a dog called Toby. They call him the George Clooney. As you can see on the picture, he's totally grey. A nice fun fact about me, and I'm sure you guys, have either done it before or aspiring to do it. I have climbed and survived Kilimanjaro. And all for the love of charity. Okay. So as part of setting the scene of automation, I would love to get back to why we are here in finance. And you as my peers, we all report into a structure. We report either to a financial director or a CFO. And our CFO, brand new, James, that started not so long time ago. And I don't want to put a feather in his cap or win some brownie points, but he came with a simple vision. He had 2 simple goals, productivity goal and an organizational goal. And basically what he told the forum is that it's all about driving shareholders' value and letting his team support the organization to actually appraise and to be involved in investment priorities. By doing that, he laid down simple productivity goals. Nothing magic, just a few steps. He wants us to eliminate all the unnecessary reporting that we have done. If we think the report was good, but nobody actually looked at it, that must be eliminated. His simplification also included that he didn't want lots of meetings. He just wants the job to get done. And then in doing so, it will free up some time to get that perfect work balance. But he also knows that, and he took us nicely through a map, and he said that this is all possible if you embrace automation. And what is automation about? Is to generate the data and use the reports that get generated. Let it come from a bot. Yeah, use a bot to do that. By doing that, we're going to definitely reduce the errors that we make. Yeah, and we are all human. We are all finance people. We generate the reports, and what happens? We find that there's an error, and then we have to start that cycle again. And then by also embracing the concept of thinking automation, it will give us that ability to come to a decision quicker, to help our organization a little bit better. He wants to take the concept away that we as finance people are only reporting on historical data. Now, things have shifted. And we're now in an automation world where we have to be ahead of the curve and help our business to drive shareholders' value and also to create opportunities for investment priorities. How does that fit into our day-to-day life, and how did it fit into my day? And how do I help the CFO achieve the organization goals? And I could almost say, as all FP&A professionals, finance managers, we have goals that we love to meet because our OKRs is attached to it, our KPIs is attached to it. But in our world, it's management reporting. First prize, management reporting, that's what we do. Yeah, we do data mining. We get the data as fast as possible. We go look for the best data. The data that we don't have to cleanse so much, and we want it to come from the system. We want to source it correctly. We are all involved in some sort of cost allocation, some sort of way to get it streamlined, to get it faster, and also to help us with our contribution margins. And then our bread and butter, our forecasting. Now, this might just be generic stuff. You might have a laundry list of things that you are involved with. But there's a reality. Yeah, we live in our space where we have multiple sources, multiple systems, and we have to deal with them. Yeah, the data now must become real time. There's no more, sorry, month end is not yet closed, therefore I cannot do the reports. Yeah, those are the kind of things we as financial professionals has to deal with. And then comes the A for accuracy. And, and that's sometimes, we gauge accuracy. Oh, it's 95%, it's okay. But there's certain environments that we have to be spot on all the time. And then by doing all of our jobs, all these maybe 4 or 5 critical areas of duties, it's a lot of repetitive work and it absorbs a lot of time. So we now need to step back and say, okay, this is my day to day. How can I change? And similar to what you see, I have about 4 to 5 systems that I use and interact every single day. So every single system has a different report. Every single system needs to be powered differently. So this has caused a bit concern for me, is that it takes time to run these reports. What motivated me to do this? Firstly, I think I'm in a situation where data is gold. Yeah. So if you can extract the data, then you have knowledge. But my goal was always to work smarter, to get to that data as fast as possible. All I needed is the tool to help me. And being in AA, I've positioned myself correctly where I can take that first steps. We know that running of daily reports and monthly reports, that's our bread and butter. But the problem is that if we do that manually every single time, we almost create ourselves, where we can't free up time. So what made me take this decision? I wanted to work smart. And this might be a cliche, and you might say, yeah, we all know that. We need to increase productivity. We need to increase the speed or the accuracy. But what does it really mean? We still get stuck in our rut from one month into the next. We just finished this month and we at the next month. We finish the forecast, we at the next forecast cycle. And we don't get chance even to breathe or to improve based on last month's results. By seeing the automation in my company, and having the ability to have my own digital helper, that was enough to motivate me. No more reliance on IT, no more being in the queue for a report that only IT could do or the system developers could do. No, now I have my own digital helper. I always say something. It's nice to get fish, to get to somebody hands you a fish, but I wanted the fishing rod now. My own digital helper is my fishing rod. Yeah, and the whole concept of do it once and get it right. Yeah, and that will all free up time. And that motivated and drove me now to basically start my automation journey, especially in AA. And then last but not least, bottling is fun, guys. Once you touch your first, I say once you switch on or connect and you set up your system on your machine, it's a new world. And hopefully through the next few minutes, I will be able to excite you in that. Yeah. So let me pause for a moment. I'm going to take you through a flow of one of the bots that I've done. So in my world, as an FP&A, I need to do budget versus actuals variances and commentaries, and it needs to be on the spur of the moment. It needs to be so that the finance managers can do their adjustments or do their journals. They all depend on us as FP&A team to support them in that. So I thought, okay, all the reports that I do, I need to invest so much manual time. And I took this project and created my path to automation. So what is my digital assistant that I'm speaking about? What does it do? What did it do with the budget versus actual? It basically, the RE process that you will hear a lot about, Nikki would have explained, she will probably later explain even further the beautiful capabilities of the RE, but it's just the front end to all the bots that we create for ourselves, the little bots. Yeah, it's the front end or the interface that brings these bots and initiate it. So what would this bot do for me? Okay, it would log into the systems. It would log into the Workday system. It would log into the adapter system, and then basically it will download the reports seamlessly. Yeah. So once I initiate the process, I can go make myself a cup of coffee and we can come back. It would have logged in, it would have downloaded the reports, and then basically it will also then refresh the budgeting versus actual tool that's sitting on my desktop. Now imagine that at the end of the day, I do nothing. I come back to my desk and my model is refreshed and I'm ready for action. Okay, so and I really want you to visualize the situation in your life. Each and every one of you have the same situation. You have multiple systems, have to log in, have to do download reporting, and have to refresh some sort of database or some sort of tool. Now let's talk about logging. Have you not been in a situation where you log in and then you get distracted and then it times out and you have to do it again? Those are minutes that you just waste. And if you do not quantify that minutes, you do not even know how much minutes we tend to waste during the day doing that. So logging, sometimes you log over 3 systems and you forgot your password. Now you have to scramble on what password, and then you have to reset it, and then you have to wait for email. Time wasting. Then download reports. How many times did you download a report that hangs? Yeah, so when the system kicks it out in Excel or CSV, oh, our poor Excel bestie doesn't like it, and it keeps you going, non-responsive, and you are waiting, you're stuck, you can do nothing on your machine. Yeah, now you're stuck there. So therefore, what we need to do, you have to wait out the time, which sometimes takes a long time. So if you're 9 months in your financial cycle, you'll have 9 months worth of data. Sometimes it's 25,000 lines if you want to export it. And then eventually, when you got the download report, it's settled, then you copy and paste it into your database, or you copy and paste it into your financial model. More time. And then you're happy. then you are ready to do the job that we get paid for. Yeah, the actual analysis. But then you find out that you accidentally uploaded the wrong report. It's last month's report. It's last month's data. Then you have to start that process over again. Now, my digital assistant, oh, I love her to bits. I call her or she, because she just does everything first time right. What do they say? Females do things first time right. And sorry, females, sorry, ladies, this bot just does it first time right. What does it do? Yeah, it gets it right first time. It's accurate. It frees up time. And this bot that I will show you after the demo to this basically will have saved me 10 minutes times 25 reiterations across the month. That's 4 hours, just something simple. This is just the start. 4 hours I save in a core function that I attend to. So 4 hours times 12 is 60 hours. And if there's 5 FP&A managers or 5 financial managers doing the same job in the organization, you start, you can do the maths. Okay. So now I want to take you quickly through the slide demo that I have basically put together so that you can see this in action. Now that you know the process, you know what's happening, you will now see a live simulation. This is not me trying to set my bot to run on dummy data. No, it's live data. And it's a process that I ran a month ago. So all I want to tell you is that basically for confidential or sensitive data, I had to blur it out. So apology for the quality, but I wanted to keep it as fresh so that you can experience the moment of the demo. So let me just click here. So yeah, more fun and time. So let me just, I'm hoping that the recording works. So what you see here is basically I click on my budget versus actual. It now, the RE, all I have to do, the only 3 things manual I have to do, I have to choose the correct parameters. After I submit, at this point of time, I can go for coffee. And this gets done in the background while you do something else. So here you can see basically that it goes into the one system, it prepares the download report, it validates the columns, it does everything that it needs to do to enable to open up the Excel spreadsheet on my desktop, to capture it in. And then basically it goes to round 2 to the budgeting system. It does the same thing, prepares the report for capturing. And this process basically happens seamlessly. I come back, I go into my output file on my desktop, and voila, here is the nicely refreshed spreadsheet. Now I can do my job. I don't have to worry about anything else, that it's a wrong report, that it's not, the headings are not right. It's first time right, guys. And this will allow me to do the quality that I ought to do. Yeah, I can now drill into the numbers. I can drill into the cost centers. This database or this tool allows me to drill even further into journals. And yeah, I can go on and on. And you know that if you don't need to go into the system and you can get all the data, you can also source it out to your finance managers for immediate action. And this is just one example. You guys got multiple examples of tools that you maintain manually. Okay, so thank you for watching this little clip. I know it was a bit rushed, but that's our bot. Our bot doesn't sleep. It does its job. We can go sleep. Yeah. So where's the next? The next is basically our digital assistant will become our best friend. I always say we now need to marry it. We need to invite the power of that digital system to be part of our workforce. Create that as a tool in our toolkit. Okay, so why do I say that? Is that it can automate any task, from a simple task to a complex task. It can now also, so basically the saying is that if you can touch the keyboard to do the job, and you can move the mouse to get your results and data that you require, then you can bot it. Yeah. So anything that you do manually can be bot. It connects people. Lovely, because if you create a bot and you share the bot across your organization, then especially in the finance world, we all are probably, culprits. We do the same thing across the board. Yeah. Same result, same spreadsheets, different data, same result. Where a bot could have done that for all of us, and we could have gone to do something else that is probably more meaningful than churning out a report. And then obviously with this digital assistant and with the AA product, it's cloud-based and you can work anywhere. So you can run your process and kickstart your processes at the touch of a button. So now I want to talk about, you and I becoming true heroes, automation heroes in our organization. And I think to be a hero, you need to take the first step. And sometimes that is the hardest. It's just to take that first step. It's like Excel, you start with a simple formula, and then you build another formula called VLOOKUPs, and then you find out VLOOKUPs is made redundant by XLOOKUPs, and so on, and so on, and so on. Same thing with bot. It starts with a little step, and you build on that. And you know that my journey, yes, I was passionate to work smarter, but I have discovered what bots are all about. I've created this bot. I also basically married this bot because it lives with me every single day. In the morning, I run the bot, I get my results, and it helps me going further. Okay. So now, where do you start? Okay, so as finance professionals, we all have areas of responsibility. Now, this heat map that you see now basically is a good place to see where do we fit in. Like I have showed you through a simple bot that I've done, that basically it lives in the space of the FP&A. It's budget versus actual. It's a core duty. Everybody does it. But as you can see, the high RPA opportunities that we see in gray, that's already happening. If you speak to accounts payable, they all do new vendor setup. And I shudder to think a manual process that's governing that, or invoice validation, or cash dispersion. We can go on. This is a no-brainer. It needs to be bot. We need to free up those people to do others that a bot can't do. Likewise, the accounts receivable. I mean, these gray highlighted areas are the ones that are use cases is happening already, and it should be done in every single organization. And coming to the FP&A area, the opportunities are endless. Okay, so you can see the darkened area, like the technical, accounting, investment, and appraisal and tax accounting. That you need brains to do that. So that is where we get paid to put our influence and our energies in. So basically, this is probably the stuff that you don't want to bot. You don't have to bot everything. Bot the things that is low value, but a necessity to do for the end result. Yeah, so basically you can see, look at all the possibilities of where we can employ a bot to sort us out. And if you look at that, and you probably, if you want this slide, I will ask Monica to send the slide to you, because it's so important to see that in every space you can bot. And if you do that, I think you're not only going to achieve the objectives of the company or the goals of your CFO, but it's going to become more rewarding to you as an individual. And I'm on that journey, and I'm that far. I just started. So you're not far behind me. Yeah. So how beautiful is that all of us as finance professionals in my company, as well as my peers in different companies and different industries, and we can start this journey together, and we can leverage off the power of automation through a tool that we love. Last but least, in AA, we have this saying, you're ready, Now just go be great. Thank you. I hand it over to Nikki.
He discovered them, he built them, and he runs them. Who doesn't need a superhero like Theo in their finance department? Well, guess what? The likelihood is you have a Theo, and not just one. With Mahir's vision in mind, it's on you, business leaders, to provide the freedom to fulfill their potential. Thank you, Theo, for that inspiring and I'm sure, looking at the chat, thought-provoking presentation. The chat's on fire again. Before we step into Q&A, I'd like to share with you the special offer we have running this week for all of our attendees. Some of you may well have heard already. Friends of Everyone Can Automate. If you would like to start your journey with ARI now, we are sharing with you a discount code entitling you to 50% discount on your ARI licenses. Now, as you might expect, terms do apply, so please flag your interest by dropping us a note to everyone@automationanywhere.com, and we'll send you the information about the offer and how you can get started. Right, our resident superhero. Let's take a dive into Q&A and look at some of those questions. Theo, are you ready?
I'm ready, Nikki. I'm tired after that session and seeing the multiple responses coming through there. Thank you guys for participating in that. Yeah, I do appreciate that.
Every day it's just got better, Theo, and better, Theo. And you've just, I mean, the chat literally is quite literally on fire. But as we've been going along, I've picked out a few. So I thought we'd take a little dive in. Right. Theo, love the term you use, botting. Not only have you discovered use cases for bots, but you've built the bots and you work with the processes via ARI. If you had to give some advice to others, what's the best way to start this work smarter journey? What a great question.
Yeah, Nick, it's definitely a good question. And I would love to know the person that have raised that question, because that would probably be a person that is very interested on starting their journey. All I can say is simple. Let's make a start. Yeah, we can talk about it, but if you don't make a start, you'll never get there. So adopting botting as part of your environment shouldn't be considered a sprint or a race to get there first. Take it as a marathon, and each step that you take towards that journey, you will get closer to your goals. Your goals will be different to anybody in the organization. Keep it simple. That is me. In my organization, we have the smart brains. In my finance peers, smart brains. But for us, start simple. Just start your own race. Yeah.
And then I guess that race, just, more and more people join you as you start the sprint, right?
Yeah. They help me.
Awesome.
They will help me.
Yeah, absolutely. They join you along the way. Yeah. Next question in. One of the things we know many things, let's say, about finance, but one thing is sure, there's no room for error. Now, this is something that you touched on, right? The A. How skeptical were you about having a bot run all of these data-rich processes, which rely so heavily on the A that you mentioned, accuracy? How did you feel when you started? Were you nervous? Tell us about it.
Who's dreaming up those questions?
They're coming in live, trust me. I can throw you some others if you like.
No, don't worry. Very good question, okay? And you are speaking to the most skeptical person. Yeah, I'm one of the most skeptical person. Whatever gets given to me, I will sit back and make sure that it makes sense. I don't run with the data if it doesn't make sense. But that meant that I invested a lot of time, yeah? But going on this journey and experiencing my first bot, that BVA bot, which is my lifeline, yeah, I started taking the human bot inside of me. I've taken it out. And I can tell you that bot I ran 200 times in the last 6 months without any fail. Okay, I'll confess, it failed once, but it's because my laptop had to get rebooted for software. That's the only time the bot didn't run. Yeah, so accuracy, everybody will tell you, all human beings, they strive for accuracy. And if you put your intelligence into the bot and you do the quality checks, pops your uncle, you'll get a good result every single time.
Amazing. And I would argue that the bot didn't fail, it was the laptop, right? So 100%. Okay, next one in. You're busy, Theo. Like your peers are busy. You're busy on a day-to-day basis. How do you identify? What's your approach for identifying the bots that you need to run your business? In short, where do you start?
Good question again, and full marks for the person that asked that. It's your environment, and only you as an individual finance professional know what your goals, what your deliverables are. In simple, if I could break it down, we are all in a discovery phase. It will take us some time to get into a developmental phase, but we're all discoveries. And that's an important step in botting, is to have that discovery mentality. What can we do to make things simpler? There's people that can help you, but you must discover that. So the 3 top sections down the finance wall is your system report download. Start there, where you can download your report, store it where you want to, or have it emailed to you every day at a touch of a button. You know, the second thing that I think can be ventured or started, maybe think about the databases that you have and the financial models that you have that you manually refresh. Start there and say, how can I automate the refreshness of it? Yeah, the manual side that I put into it, make it fun. I'd say make it sexy also, that it can also create a proud moment in your life when you do see the benefits from these uploads. And then I think the third thing that all of us need in finance is having a mechanism to build your own reports. Yeah, to build your own reports. The bot can help you to do that. It can mine the data wherever the system is. If you can see the data and you can click again your mouse on that data and copy that data onto a spreadsheet, you can develop your report. So please, I'm not making anybody redundant in report building, but you have the power to build your reports and become effective. 3 key things, simple stuff that I have started on my discovery journey.
Amazing. And that's what you did to start, Theo. But there's another question coming in. There may well be a little bit of slight overlap here, but I still want to delve into it. In your professional opinion, get your pen ready, folks. In your professional opinion, what are the top 3 digital assistant processes you feel, I guess, ought to be a must for any financial professional? Giving away some trade secrets here, but shoot.
Yeah. You need to have the following. I personally believe, as a starter, you need to have your report building mechanism. You have that digital assistant that can help you with your report building that I just spoke about now. You need to also have your refresh capability. You need to have that intact. And then I think last but least, I think you also need to make sure that whatever end products that you have and that you need to deliver, do you have an assistance to help you cut out all the areas that can be prone to error? Yeah, because remember, we all delve in time and energy and we get it quickly done because our bosses want it. We're all about time. The worst thing is you spend all that time and it's wrong. So you also need to get that assistance, your digital assistant to Q&A that for you, to make sure that they become a devil's advocate in saying that is wrong. So build a system or a bot that can also spot the errors for you. Okay?
Thanks, Theo. Your energy and your enthusiasm for this are boundless. I feel like you're just, it's coming through the screen at me. So I genuinely hope that that's the feeling that everybody else is getting. It's just infectious. What I'm wondering is, how infectious is this energy that you exude, this passion for automation? How infectious is that within your own department, within finance, within Automation Anywhere? Are colleagues coming to you and asking for how and help and bots? Because chances are I might be again tomorrow. I got one off Nancy on Tuesday. I'm kind of picking up bots along the week. But what's the feeling amongst finance?
Yeah, I think there's with James coming in as our CFO, he's given us that platform, and there's a buzz now. Everybody is excited, and I must admit, I've also, that platform has created that excitement within our organization. So it takes our leader to also give us that freedom. It's all about, guys, if you can do the thing half the time, then I'll give you the other time back to do something else. Yeah, whether it is doing some fun stuff or doing some better stuff. But what I want to say is that in our organization at this moment of time, my role was just to grease the wheels a bit. That's all it is. Because you must also remember, it's not always scalable in every single department. This is not the alpha and the omega, and it might not be scalable all the time. But I just wanted to achieve my aims and my goals. So I wanted to identify those processes, build a simple process, run with it for a bit, got some results, and boom, yeah? Now, that has created that people wanted to adopt it. People started asking, and I think there is that buzz. And what do they say? It just takes one heart, one mind, one process, and that equals to a boom. And let that boom always be in your finance world, because we no more bean counters. We're not historical reports anymore. We are the future to help our company go the extra mile.
I love that. One heart, one mind, one process. Boom. Well, I'm pretty certain, Theo, that you will have influenced, you will have inspired more than one heart, one mind, and about one process this afternoon. That was absolutely fantastic. If we could sneak in one more question, because it's just come in. What are the benefits you've seen for your finance department within automation that others would expect to achieve also? Last question. Give it a 60-second stab.
Okay. I think, again, all areas have their own goals that they set. Always gravitate towards the goals set by your leadership. Yeah, just bear that in mind. If you work towards, or you gravitate towards those goals, they will support you. To go on this journey, you need the support. You need leadership to see that, and they see that. It's for us to take that step to make it happen. Nobody's going to hand it on a plate for you. Yeah, it takes time to learn anything, but it's a fun journey. And like I said in the beginning, we need to be ahead of the curve. And I think that should be all our motivation. Step back, go home and say, what do I need to do to create this automation journey starting Monday?
Theo, you are absolutely awesome, and I love you. Thank you so much indeed.
Love you guys all, yeah? To all those that have joined.
I could carry on, but we've got no time, Theo. We've got to cut this up. Ladies and gentlemen, sadly, we're almost out of time as we near the end of our automation week here with Everyone Can Automate. Thanks go to all of my co-presenters and the team behind the scenes for the insight into their personas, their time, their creativity, and thank you, Theo, the inspiration. From the beginning, Automation Anywhere's founding team recognized the need to approach automation through the lens of access and experience and empower an entire workforce generation with unprecedented productivity. Every step of the way, our goal remains the same: enabling people with barrier-free automation technology that liberates everyone to achieve their human potential. We truly hope we've inspired you. Take care and thank you.
Bye-bye.